Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the stage. We are coming to you live from our studios in the Grant House inside of the Baka, adjacent the Holy Spirit Cathedral. Well, today is the start of a new week. There are issues rising up in this country, and that is what we are here for. We are here to find solutions, to speak about the issues, find solutions, and if possible, if they are implemented, we'll know that there will be some calm, some peace in this country. This is what the state stands for. And so, after the break, we'll take you through some of the briefs of what we'll be discussing later when we sit down. But thank you so much for joining us right here on the stage. My name is Anita, and this program is proudly brought to you by the Christian Service University.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246 275375, 0240 154825, or 0244 596603, or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odenaho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known. That's
Sorry, not sure.
Wake up to a purposeful day.
Get ready for a transformational morning experience.
Sorena Shrine is here to build our spirituality, mental and physical well-being.
Through positive, inspiring actions and stories.
We bring you exciting activities and conversations that develop us as a people and as a nation.
We take a look at the trending issues in Ghana and the rest of the world.
And we also review the impacting stories from our local newspapers.
Every morning, we bring you stories of hope, change, and renewal.
We empower you through the Word of God and provoke you to live the purposeful life destined for you.
Join us, Anita Kwaku,
and the Reverend Ajika Vincent Agbamanya, Monday to Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. as we take you on an inspiring journey, live and exclusively on WTV.
You may also join us on Facebook at WTV Ghana and on YouTube at Wesleyan TV Ghana.
Sorry, not Shrine.
Wake up to a purposeful day.
Sorena Shrine is brought to you by
Danwell Insurance, Multi-Credit Savings and Loans,
and the Methodist University Ghana.
Welcome back. You're still watching The State right here on Wesleyan Television. This is where we bring you the brief of what exactly we plan on discussing when we later sit down, but straight to our screens. It's all about the conflict in Ghana. It started some years back. It started with something, and so the conflicts have plagued many parts of the world since time immemorial. And so it's not only Ghana that is facing this particular problem, but other countries as well are also facing similar problem. Ghana has not been spared from the ravaging effects of these conflicts. Others have been left homeless, others have been left jobless, and what have you. And so these are some of the repercussions of some conflicts that happen in our countries. Over the years, many places across the country have experienced one form of conflict or the other at various points in time. And so it could be one region, it could be one community, and what have you. And so these are some of the things that have been happening. These conflicts have been often sparked by chieftaincy, ethnic, religious, political, land, and other socio-cultural, as well as economic undertone. So these may be some of the reasons why these conflicts always spark. Notable conflicts over the years have included the Kukumba and the Nanumba, the Boku one involving the Kusasis and then the Mamprusis. We have the Nkonya and the Alavanyos. We have the Bimoba and then the Kukumba people, Abudu and then the Adani, and currently the Nkwanta one. And so this is the one that is trending so far. But another community, another area has taken up the news. As has been the case over the years, two of these conflicts have resurfaced just a few days into the new year. Well, today is day 20 into the year 2025. Boko has seen scores of deaths recorded in the last few days, and the raid in Wale Wale last week resulting in injuries to some residents. In the last few days, about 200 people have fled their homes following renewed clashes in Nkwanta, prompting military raids in the town. And so currently, if you get to Nkwanta, you see a lot of military troops right there. According to reports by the Ghana News Agency, 7 people have been killed and 8 houses as well as shops have been set ablaze in the resurgence of the conflict in Nkwanta. Yes, so these are some of the economic crises that comes with conflicts. Just last Sunday, Obuasi took over the news headlines after a clash between some security personnel at the Ashanti Gold Obuasi mine and the small-scale miners. 7 people have been reported dead. Now, before getting to your screens, I was watching some videos. Some health professionals were administering CPR to some of the injured people, and some of them were as well dead. Many have expressed fear that if the prevailing situation is left unchecked, it could spill over to other conflict-prone areas. And so places where we do not even experience conflict, if care is not taken, it could get to that point. What is accounting for the resurgence of these conflicts, and what are the remedies available to the state to find lasting solution to this? Well, we'll dig further and we'll bring you what we think could be something that could resolve this particular conflict in Nkwanta, and currently what is happening in Obuasi. This is what we'll be discussing right here on the state. And so wherever you are, please do well to take your seats, pick up your phone or your remote and tune into Wesleyan TV, and let's do this together. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the state. But we are discussing the unresolved conflicts, and we'll be digging into the key driving factors, some interventions given so far, and the remedies we think could help for us not to get these conflicts anymore. And so I have been joined by Very Reverend DCOP Frank Chumba, who is a retired Deputy Commissioner of Police, and then Mr. Nicholas Taylor, who is a social analyst. And so these two gentlemen are going to help us delve deeper into it and dig to some solutions to the unresolved conflict. And so this is what we're discussing right here, and so I hope that you would also join us on all our social media platforms and then leave a comment right there for us. Mr. Taylor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I hope you are doing well too.
Yes, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. Now, also, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I hope you are doing well.
God's grace. We are doing well.
Okay.
Doing
Please,
well.
Okay, so kindly turn on your cameras. Let's see you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. I mean, on Saturday you heard about a clash between some persons, some illegal miners in Obuasi, and then the altercation between the security personnel and then the illegal miners. When you heard this particular thing, or you saw the news on TV, you saw it on social media, what first came to mind? Osavo, kindly unmute for us and then let's have a conversation. Hello, Osavo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so I was asking, when you first saw the news on Saturday and then on Sunday concerning the clash between the security personnel and some illegal miners in Obuasi, what first came to mind?
Yeah, thank you very much. I believe that this incident, one would say, it's not something new that we experience. And the underlying factor is indiscipline. The factor is indiscipline. Once a mining company with wires and other security apparatus protecting the environment, it tells you that if you want to enter and you don't go through the main entrance, you are seen to be a thief.
Okay.
And indisciplined. And if you see security people, you see military, and you think that you also have a weapon, so you want to fight them. Definitely, the army, after that incident, the Ghana Armed Forces had issued a statement. And that statement goes to confirm the fact that the military officer that is on duty is weaponized. He's armed. And the one that is given to him is to protect life and property.
Okay.
And in doing, the life of the individual is number one. If he doesn't protect himself, he can't protect life and property. And so if you have gone over the board and you want to enter the premises illegally, and in an attempt to do that, they stop you, and then you think that you have a weapon, so you fire at them. They'll return fire. You see, once they return fire, you should know that they have been trained to fire. And the weapons that are in their hands, they are not weapons to be plucking mangoes and then pawpaw. They are weapons to kill. And so if you try to attack them, definitely they will also return fire. And that is the kind of situation that we found ourselves when those people lost their lives. Let's go back to the same Obuasi enclave. They just ended elections. If individuals, civilians, had the audacity and the guts to confront armed military officers, to fight them, it tells you the underlying factor, whatever is prompting them to be doing that. Because once the person is in uniform, the person represents the state.
Okay.
So you as a civilian or a citizen of the land should respect the uniform, should respect the individual with that uniform. And if you don't do that, if you are a military man, a policeman, you have a weapon, and a civilian beats you and takes away your weapon, it's an indictment on you yourself. So definitely, like the statement the armed forces issued, they will not look for you to fight them and kill them. No. If you shoot at them, they will return fire.
Okay.
And so people should be disciplined enough to know that some of these things should not be done. The security forces have been, I would say, provoked over the period to a certain level that if we are not very careful, what happened at Obuasi will happen at other places. Want to link it up with the recent disturbances in the communities, in the constituencies. One individual takes stones, takes sticks, attack. I was recently conversing with a security person. I will not mention the service that the person belongs to.
Okay.
And this brother was in uniform, has a weapon. And some people have gone there that they want to come and take over the office. How can you do that? How can you do that? It's indiscipline. So the foundation of all that is happening is that people are not disciplined enough to respect authority, to respect the rules of the land.
You keep mentioning indiscipline.
Exactly.
We go to the Oti region, in Kwanta to be precise, and there is also some military troops you can see around because there were some disturbances, some conflicts of some sort in that region. What would you say to that as well?
Let me, maybe I'll put it another way.
Okay.
It's indeed true that the conflict is coming out of some kind of tribal or ethnic kind of issue or ritual something. Okay. But the issue is, they went to the MCE's residence. Why the MCE's residence? Is the MCE a chief? Is the MCE a traditional leader? Is the MCE the one doing that or the one influencing that kind of thing? Or the MCE has meddled himself in that conflict, in that issue? If the MCE has gotten himself involved in the rights of the people, in the decisions of the local people, the question is, why that? Is he misusing his power as an MCE to get involved? Or when he was MCE, he was on the side of one party? And that currently he's no longer MCE, so the people think they can attack him. It's still an issue of discipline. You are an MCE, an administrative head, a political leader. Okay. Your duty is to make sure that the community enjoys peace. Bring both parties together. Make sure that there's peace amongst them. But if you get involved, I will not go into that because I don't know why they attack the MC's residents. But if you want to keep on asking questions, many of these things will come up. Why did they go to the man's house? Yeah. Whether it's a man or a woman, I don't know who that MC is. But why did they go to the MC's house?
So would you say, apart from the indiscipline, it's a deliberate attempt by these citizens?
Definitely, the person might be an accomplice to all these. Yes, the person might be involved in some of these things. I recall some time back, some years back, when I was in the service. I mentioned the traditional area. There was a chieftaincy dispute. And this chieftaincy dispute, there was a chief in the town. They were installing another chief. And they had paraded this new chief through town. Interestingly, a very senior officer of one of the security agencies got himself involved. He was with the people carrying the new chief. The police arrested him. The police arrested him. So if you are in town and you are an MC or you are an authority in the community and you think that you can get involved and identify with one group, definitely the other group will also see you as an enemy. But being an MC, your role is to make sure that the community enjoys peace, that both parties come to terms so that they will be able to live in peace. That the community enjoys peace, that both parties, you see, come to terms so that they will be able to live.
What we intend discussing deeper. But Mr. Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so over to you. You watched what happened on social media. You watched some also on TV. And so you saw what happened in Kwanta. You also saw what happened in Obuasi over the weekend. Others have attributed it to chieftaincy disputes, land issues, and what have you. We have a particular entity that takes care of chieftaincy and then religious affairs and all that. Why do we have these issues recurring?
All right, thank you very much. I will first of all look at the concept of conflict itself and how we intend to look at the resolution of these issues and maybe to find a lasting solution to these issues. Know that the conflict in its form can happen as a result of people misunderstanding themselves or people trying to usurp another person's power or somebody trying to do something which is in aberration of another person's right. Okay. Or somebody trying to do something which is not permitted by law. And so generally, when somebody feels that, oh, something is going wrong, something is supposed to be for me, has been overtaken or...
Hello, Mr. Taylor.
Come up against what is happening.
Hello, Mr. Taylor. Okay. Let's come back to you, Osofo. What would you say, I mean, government's response over the period concerning conflicts has been sending military troops and some security persons to calm the situation down before they go in to sit down to talk about the issue, to find some dispute resolution factors, what to do to mitigate these situations. Has it helped, and to what extent has these resolutions helped?
Thank you very much. I believe that sometimes some of these things, I'll say that the responses have been reactive. Okay. Reactive in the sense that before you are aware, an issue comes up and the government sends in security people to go in and then curb this kind of disturbance. But after the disturbance goes down, everybody goes to sleep. And I believe that this issue of conflicts all around us, whatever the background has been, whatever the issues have been, they are not coming up as first instances. They've been there before, they've happened a number of years back, and they are recurring. When they come up and the issue comes down, what do we do? What measures do we put in to make sure that they don't come up again? But in the attempt to do that, today it is the NDC government that is in power. Yeah. Every conflict that happens in any area, the government will go in. Before you are aware, somebody has an interest, and so will try to align him or herself with the government. The moment the other person also sees that this person has aligned him or herself with this government, will say that, okay, when this government is no longer in power, we also come up because this time our government will also be in power. And so all the fightings here and there didn't start during the NDC time. It didn't start during the MPP time. Okay. It didn't start the first Mills Mahama administration or Kufuor time. But in all these situations, you realize that gradually the political parties are getting aligned with some of these parties in conflict. And so periodically, you see that when government changes, then the issues start coming up. Because if it gets to a point where a chief, a traditional leader can say that this party should not come to this area to campaign, it means you have identified yourself and you have gone against that party. The next time when that party is in power, what do you think that their followers also do? And so it's important that as the issue comes up, I'm happy the President Mahama went to Boko and has gone to the Asante to make sure that the issue is resolved once and for all.
Yes.
And happened at Yendi many years ago when President Kufuor set up a committee, it followed through, and then when President Akufo-Addo also came up, through the interventions of Asante and other chiefs, they managed to bring the Dagbon issue to closure. Even though you could feel some kind of tensions once a while, but at least where they have come to, they've managed to bring the situation to a point. Can we have the same thing happening to Boko? Because I know Boko very well. When I was at Trinity, I had my practical work at Boko.
And
you could ride on.
What was the environment like?
It was very peaceful.
Okay.
Very peaceful. Today, if I go to Boko and you ask me to be on a motorbike, I'll thank you and go back. At that time, the Right Reverend Samwini was then at Boko. Riding the motorbike, I was behind him. We've had a lot of villages, women doing their trade, carvers carving their baskets here and there. Those their smokes and other things. You went through town. The town was very, very peaceful. We rode a motorbike to Garu and to the hinterlands of the environment of Boko. And there was nothing like this. But gradually, you realize that some people had aligned themselves with a particular parliamentary candidate. And you see that the moment it started, then the town started dividing. And it has deteriorated from that point till now. And so that is this kind of situation. Boko used to be a very vibrant town, a very peaceful environment. It was one place that I visited throughout my practical attachment that I enjoyed the place very much. But today, I don't think that the same story could be mentioned about Boko.
So, I mean, if successive governments have come up with solutions to help us not go back to the same situation, and we are still having it, what then didn't they do right? Did whatever processes that they expected to go through, did they go through? And for what period did these resolutions work? And if not, can something be done about it? Apart from the fact that people are recalcitrant, people are not adhering to or respecting men in uniform and all that.
Yeah, the situation is, well, with the Yendi one, we thank God that it has been resolved. Now it's up to the people of Boko. During this election, my intelligence tells me that Boko was very peaceful, and both parties agreed to conduct so that the military will take charge of the place. There were military people all over the place, making sure that people will go out.
Hello, sir. All right, and so
Hello.
yes, sir. We can hear you.
Sorry, the line went off.
Okay, sir, we can hear you.
Yes. So they all agreed because they had made it a point that if you misbehave in town, the military will not take it easy with you. So all of it. But soon after the election, look at what is happening again. Attacking vehicles along the road. And I think that the military should be given the full authority and mandate to reprimand no matter who that person is, whether a traditional leader or a political leader or whatever, to bring the person to order And I believe that some of these things will go down. But because sometimes politicians will pamper some of them because we want votes. At the end of the election, we come back to square one. The fighting now starts all over again.
This is quite a dicey situation because 1 minute there is calm, there is peace. The next minute we have some conflicts going on, some disruptions. Schools are not able to function properly. Hospitals, I mean, people stationed at various hospitals are not able to work because there's conflict in the area. Every other business of the day in that community goes to a halt. And so we pray that there's calm that will be restored back into these communities and then life goes on for them. But, sir, please hold on. We'll come back to you. Mr. Taylor, you were on a point. Can you go ahead with it?
Yes, sorry that I went to. I was saying that conflict comes as a result of people's inability to follow rules. Again, when somebody feels that his interest or his right is being tampered with.
Okay.
That in what is happening amongst the hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
What is happening in the Obuasi and what is the 𝐖𝐓𝐕 and then the
Oti region.
People are not willing to understand themselves. People are willing to take up arms at any time and make sure that they also retaliate of something that somebody has done. You were asking what we can do now. We have not been able to resolve many of this conflict because we have not been able to lay down proper procedures or rules for resolving these conflicts. Unlike what Nana 𝐼𝐓𝐕 did for us to get lasting peace at what the other side, we need to make sure that whenever we're going to have this resolution, there is a proper roadmap for the resolution of the conflict. If we don't get a concrete roadmap and we do it by need-take approach,
it looks like the Andani roadmap. It looks like the Andani roadmap went a long way to calm the situation for a very long time.
Yes, and so we need to get a proper roadmap because if you want to resolve a conflict and you are not able to look at the underpinning conditions, the reasons why that conflict keeps coming, then you will try to solve it upper, but then you cannot actually go to the root of it. So I think that in conflict resolution, we need to understand the context, the reason why it is happening, why people are not willing to back down, why people are doing what they are doing. It will help us to understand their psyche of doing what they are doing, and that will help us to properly roadmap, to get a proper roadmap. That will help us to analyze the conflict and then also how to resolve it. As we speak, you look at Boku issues now. It is chieftaincy matter. That is why President Akufo-Addo and President Mahama are relying on the wisdom and then the ability of 𝐼𝐓𝐕 to resolve that. If you look at the issue at Obuasi, for example, it has become something like the illegal miners against the armed police soldiers. What is the real issue? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
So is it the case that people are mining in areas that they are not supposed to mine? They are going against the law, and therefore the military are there to make sure that those places are a no-go area. And they are also trying to be intransigent and trying to insist on their right that they want to go and mine there. And that clash are happening. So my point is this. If we are unable to identify the underlying cause of this conflict, we will try our best. We may use a knee-jerk approach, but we cannot get to the bottom of it and we cannot resolve it entirely. So my belief is that in all these situations, let us get the people out there, the senior military officers, the ADR operators, whatever, those with the knowledge in managing this conflict. Let us find the root cause. Let us try to develop a roadmap for trying to resolve this particular conflict. And if we do that, it will give us a lasting peace. Instead of the knee-jerk approach. So that will be my comment for now on what is happening after that window.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Taylor. But let's look at the effects of these conflicts on the community and then the state at large? Because currently, if there is something happening here, everybody's focus is clearly on either Nkwanta or is clearly in Nkwanta or Obuasi, because we're trying to resolve calm in these two areas. And so if anything is happening, I won't say it should happen, but if anything is happening up south, then it means that our attention should also come back to this particular part of the country. Let's look at the adverse effects of these conflicts.
Yes, the effect of conflict is very, very dire, whatever form you look at it. Even if it is the interpersonal conflict between one person and the other, you realize that the two people can never live at peace. The two people will always be at each other's throats. The two people will always try to make sure that each of them will want to insist on his or her right. But in terms of the country, you will see that a whole amount of money, military, civilians, machinery, will have to be moved up there to go and calm down the situation. The amount of money that is needed to move that military that is currently at Boku, it's not easy. If you go to the Obuasi now, what is happening there, we have to go with reinforcement to make sure that the situation is contained. When it happens like that, the amount of money that's supposed to be used to maybe construct some road, to construct some market, to construct some schools, these are the amount of monies that are going to be used to go and then solve the problem there. In doing so, we have denied ourselves as a country of development. And therefore, people must understand that when there is conflict, it is not only one person that suffers. The entire country, the entire system, the entire machinery will have to suffer. Now, if you look at it again, somebody would have gone to sell something in the market, gotten some school fees for the child, but because of the conflict, the person is unable to do all these things. Somebody was supposed to go and resolve another person's issue and prevent the person from dying. But because of this conflict, the person couldn't cross the border. That person is dead and gone. Health personnel was supposed to go to the hospital to go and attend to people who are sick. But because of the conflict, they have all gone out. Teachers are out and all that. My sister, what I'm saying is that if we are not able to properly assess the effect of conflict on the socio-economic development of the country, we are going to cost ourselves very, 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 very much. And so I want to appeal to all those people who are involved in this fighting and misunderstanding and this conflict, that it will not help Ghana. It will not help anybody. The earlier we understood ourselves and try to merge our gaps, the better. Otherwise, we are going to spend huge sums of money to try and calm down the tempest. It will rise up again and we will go there again. But my point is that when there's conflict, all of us suffer because the money, the logistics, the resources that we put in there, including human resource, is all going to be at the mercy of the country. It doesn't help anybody. It's stifle development. And I want to say that if we want to develop as a country, we should make sure that we find lasting peace to all these conflict-prone areas so that we can all develop together.
Interesting, gentlemen. Thank you so much for giving us this insight into some of the unresolved conflicts we have in this country. But one of the areas that we've not talked about is the fact that aside the fact that people are not able to go to their offices, people are not able to go to school, that's the same way people are not able to go around their church activities. And so this is what we are discussing right here on The State. We'll come back and we'll ask also for what it means for us as people called Methodist, as Christians, where we have to go to church, where church premises have been closed down because we are all scared of even entering that church premises. This is what we'll be discussing right after the break. Do well to stay.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA, MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246 275375, 0240 154825 or 0244 596603 or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odenaho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known.
We are young but wise, strong yet fragile, soft but tough. We are young people. Join me, the very Reverend 𝐖𝐓𝐕 𝐊𝐚𝐬𝐿, as I connect you to the world of young people. It's Why Connect, your new and exciting young people's program, right here on Wesleyan Television. It's Why Connect, connecting youth to Christ. Why Connect? The future is here. See you.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on the very final part of the stage. Today is Monday, and so I hope that you have been enjoying this conversation and you're also picking your own points. Do well to leave us some comments on our social media platforms, Facebook, or you can also go onto YouTube and leave us a comment there. It's Facebook. Facebook, it is WTV Ghana, and so do well to leave us a comment there. Now let's come back to you. Gentlemen, welcome back. Hello, Mr. Taylor. Welcome back.
Hello.
Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, we are back. Thank you very much.
Osafo, welcome back.
Is it clear now?
Yes, it's clear. Osafo, welcome back. Hello, Osafo. Okay, but Mr. Taylor, we are Christians. This is definitely a Christian channel, and so we can't talk about all these conflicts without talking about what Christ would have done if he is here and what it means for us as Christians, because I know for sure that if schools have closed down, if hospitals are not able to open and go about their day-to-day activities, then it means that our societies, our church premises that we have up north would also be closed down definitely. What does it mean for us? And as Christians, what should we do to help salvage the situation? Hello, Mr. Taylor.
Right. Thank you very much. For Christ, his prescription is that as much... Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hello.
Mr. Taylor, please, I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm saying that for Jesus Christ, for Jesus Christ, his prescription is that as much as possible, all of us should be at peace with each other. So that is Christ's prescription. And therefore, anyone who is a Christian would always believe that as much as possible, we try to live at peace with each other.
Okay.
Certain or more people to conflict. And so, what we have to do as Christians is that we should for all of us living together for a holistic development. As Christians, we need to use our pulpit to preach peace, to let people understand that if we go at each other's throats, if we go hurting one another, if we go trying to make sure that we insist so much always on our rights, we are not going to have things easy. And so if you look at what is happening, we cannot go to church if there's conflict. Now go to Boku now. If there are churches there, like Methodist, the Pentecost, the Catholic, whatever, they cannot go to church because you are afraid of your life. You don't know what is going to happen when you get out of your room. And so this is what the effect that we have. The social economic development will certainly be derailed. Again, if you are down here, when you are saying that, okay, it has happened out there and not down here, we are making a big mistake because we are all working together. And if Boku Methodist Church is not functioning, it means Accra Methodist Church is not functioning. And I believe that we need all of us to understand that as Christians, it is one of our paramount duties to continue to educate our members to understand the need for us to live together and avoid conflict. Even if we cannot avoid it entirely, it shouldn't get to the extent of killing people, of hurting people, of maiming people, of trying to injure people. It doesn't help anybody. Because if you kill your brother today, where is he tomorrow? Tomorrow, you will not see him again. If you hurt your brother today, you go and see your brother hurt. What do you gain from hurting your brother or injuring your brother? So I think that we need to, as Christians, intensify our teachings on biblical resolution of conflict, on a social resolution of conflict, on academic, whatever form that we can use to bridge gaps and try to live at peace with each other. We need to look at it, because if there's no peace, we cannot go to church, and the work of God, we cannot do it as expected.
Mr. Taylor, thank you so much. The very Reverend DCOP Frank Chumba is a retired Deputy Commissioner of Police. Sir, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again.
Sorry for the it was going on and off.
Oh, okay, so, okay.
Yeah.
So I was asking, if we have a Methodist minister stationed in Boku today, what will be the fate of that minister, and what will be the fate of the congregants as well? Because church activities cannot go on. Even if school is not going on, then it means that the church would also not have a place of worship, because you cannot even go into the premises to say you're going to say a prayer and then, you know, have a service and all that. If Christ was here, what would Christ have done? What would Christ have said to us? Hello, sir. Okay, we are trying to get... Osafo, please, we can hear you. Hello, sir. Okay, so before we get to Osafo back on the line, the recent conflict in Ekwanta, the Oti region, appears to have been triggered by some long-standing ethnic tensions and all that. Mr. Taylor, if you are there, what can we do to salvage the situation? The least we can do as individuals, I mean, just as one another, before even government comes in. People are living in communities, and so before we get to the police station, before we get to the DC or the MCE, we have each other. And so what can we do?
Right. I thank you very much. I want to look at it this way. The conflicts happening, some of them have very, very long-standing history.
Yeah.
And that is where we need to make serious efforts at trying to trace the history of some of these conflicts. Some of them didn't start today. It tries to go down a little, then it comes up again. We need to find out why it is like that. And it is only when we have gotten to the roots that we can find lasting solution to some of these conflicts. As you just rightly indicated, they are saying that it is something that had happened some time ago. Today it has resurfaced. You see, and so I think that the members of the chiefs and the people of the area, they must understand something. Some time ago, something happened. There was a reason it happened. Today, can we say that those things are happening again? Okay, is it that somebody mistakenly or somebody took somebody's land at that time, for which, as of now, we cannot forget that somebody took somebody's birthright some time ago, that somebody is still claiming that particular thing? If it becomes ethnic or something that anyway we can all come together and say that it happened some time ago, it claimed a lot of lives, it disturbed our peace, it disturbed our development. Today, what can we do? We, the up-and-coming people, we must try and look at how to resolve matters using the ADR, or even when we go to court, we must understand that and allow the court procedure to go through initiatives to try and try to catch companies together, try to bring some of these ethnic tensions down so that they speak to the leaders and the kingpins in this kind of conflict. My sister, sometimes it is not those who call the fight that fight. if it were those who normally call this fight that actually go to the war front to fight, we will not have all this conflict. And sometimes they do this thing, they are sitting in their rooms and they incite people, they incite young people, they buy food for them, they buy ammunition for them, go and fight, go and kill people. We must understand that it doesn't help all of us. So for me, I think that what's in the area, the chiefs and the people.
Mr. Taylor, thank you so much. But DCOP Frank Chumba has joined us on phone, and so we'll go back and speak to him. Ozafo, so I was asking, if Christ was here, what would Christ have said to us? And as we have Methodist churches or Methodist societies in some of these parts of the country where the conflicts have resurfaced again, what is the fate of the ministers? What will be the fate of the congregants as well? And what would you say to the feuding fractions?
All right. Thank you very much. That's the net given. Yeah, but that's for the love of power.
Okay.
And also wanting authority and influence over a lot of people. Some of these things come up. Land issues here and there. These have been raised by my brother. But I want to say that when they do happen, a lot of things take place. Poverty comes in, insecurity all over the place. There's waste of human and material resources, and also stress on the security personnel. Talking about that, there's lack of developmental projects that takes place in these areas. Those buildings that have been built will be pulled down, will be destroyed, infrastructure will be destroyed, and you see that the environment continue to suffer. And if you think that they are the only ones going to suffer, it is not the case. It will affect the entire country and go beyond the country. It will go into the regions and also globally. And it's something that we need to also talk about. I believe that the churches will have to make sure that their messages go to both parties, as well as the government. I mean, the government and then the political parties, as well as the parties to these conflicts. Our messages will play a key role. Now, let me cite Sudan. I happen to be in Sudan for 2 years, from 2015 to 2017. My experience there tells me that what happens in that land affected not only Sudan, because I'm a Ghanaian. Why did I find myself there? I found myself in Sudan because we wanted to make sure that there's peace, to build peace there. So Ghanaians were involved. Before I went there, I had received a body of a dead policeman at the Kotoka airport. When he was a peacekeeper, but the rebels shot him. And so the conflict did not only affect Sudanese, it affected Sudanese, the whole of Africa and the world, because people coming all over the world to Sudan. And security personnel in this country, I know the people are quiet because what they have witnessed, what they have seen in other lands, will not want the same thing to happen in Ghana. So sometimes some of these men and women in uniform will keep quiet, and you think that they are fools. When civilians attack them, they keep quiet because they don't want what happens in other lands to happen in our country. In Sudan, communities were totally destroyed. Districts were totally destroyed. Life and property destroyed. Animals.
Osafo, we have a few minutes to go.
Walk along.
Hello, Osafo, can you hear me?
The hillside and the villages. You see animals, camels, donkeys, and then cattle dead by the roadside. Not that they have been shot, but they were hungry, looking for water and food to take. If human beings were not getting food to eat, how can these animals get food to eat and get water to drink? Okay. And so even the conflict affected their livestock. Secondary schools were collapsed. Buildings were pulled down. And so it's something that we all will have to look at and say that we don't want such a thing to happen in our state. If the government is doing something that is not helping, the church should be able to speak out.
Osafo,
If political parties are doing something not helpful, the church should be able to speak out.
Hello, Safo.
Come to the church.
Hello, Safo.
The insults will come because we are talking about some of these things, because somebody's power and somebody's influence is being attacked. And so we need to talk about some of these things. If a minister finds him or herself at Boko, definitely the person has a family. Before you are aware, this minister would have brought the wife and children to the hometown, leaving him alone there. You go to church, there are no human beings. What do? Why do you stay there? So it affects the church. So in all angles, as we talk about this conflict, we build peace, we resolve conflict, and sometimes transforming conflict. And I would say that in the church, most of the times we say that conflict resolution. Sometimes you can turn the conflict into something positive. To be able to listen to the other party is important, because in the church that is what it's supposed to be. It is not everyone who agrees with you. If the person does not agree, why is the person not agreeing? How can you transform this kind of disagreement or conflict into something positive?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for that beautiful insight and for sharing that with us. And we hope that whatever it is that is creating the feud between these communities calm will be restored as we would have it, so that this development would go on, activities will come back to the way it used to be, so that our children, our loved ones would also go about their daily duties. But this is what we're discussing on the stage. It's all about the unresolved conflicts, and we dug into the key driving factors, some of the solutions, and some of the mitigating factors we had so far. And the remedies have been stated out to us. And so we hope that it will be adhered to, and peace and calm will be restored back into these communities. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the stage. My name is Anita, and this segment was proudly brought to you by the Christian Service University. We promise to hit your screens again on Wednesday. Take good care of yourself, and we'll see you.